Hi, this is the Best of Chess and I'm FIDE Master Bojan Jovanovic. Today we will have a lesson about Discovery Attack for an easy level. Discovery Attack is consisted from a battery which is made of two pieces, one which attacks, and in this particular example, that is this queen, whose attack on this king should be discovered, and piece which will discover that attack is the second part of that battery, and in this particular example, that is this knight on g4. And by playing knight e5 we discovered this attack, and queen is giving a check to a black king, and at the same time this knight on e5 is attacking queen on d3. Instead of queen we could also use a rook, and that we will see in our next example. So we can see that this rook is potentially attacking this king, and again piece which we will discover this attack is a knight on g4, and again by playing knight e5 we are giving a check and attacking the queen at the same time. Also a piece who can attack instead of rook can be bishop, and that we will see in our next example. In this example, battery is made of this bishop on e6, whose attack on this king should be discovered, and piece which we will discover that attack is this knight on f7. And again by playing knight e5 we discovered this attack, and at the same time we are attacking this queen on d3. We can also see that instead of this knight, piece which we will discover attack can be, for instance, a bishop, and we will see that in our next example. In this example, rook is potentially attacking this king on g8, and that attack will be discovered by moving this bishop on g4, and after bishop e2 we can see that we discovered this check, and at the same time we are attacking this queen. Instead of bishop we could use also a rook, and we will see that in our next example. In this example, battery is made of bishop on e6, whose attack on this king should be discovered by moving this rook. So rook is piece which we will discover this attack, and after rook d7 we achieved that, and we are giving a check and attacking the queen at the same time. Instead of rook we could use also a queen, and that we'll see in our next example. In this example, battery is made of this rook on g3 and this queen on g4, and this rook is potentially attacking this queen and this king, and the piece which need to discover this attack is this queen on g4, and after queen d7 we can see that we discovered this attack, and again black queen is going to fall. Instead of queen we can also use a pawn, and we will see that in our next example. So in this example, white queen on g3 is potentially attacking this king on g8, and piece which will discover this attack is this pawn on g4, and we will achieve that by playing gf5, and again we discovered this attack on the king, and at the same time we are attacking this queen on e6. And we are going now for our last example, where I will demonstrate you what is a discovery attack, and after that we are going to have some practice example where we will practice our skills about combinations. So let's go for our next example. In this example, we will see that king can also discover attack, and in this example, battery is made of this rook on g1, which is potentially attacking this king on g8, and piece which need to discover this attack is king, and after king f4 we discover this attack, we are giving a check, and at the same time we are attacking this rook on e5 with our king. This was the last example where I demonstrated what is discover attack, and now we will go to see a couple of examples where we can practice our combinational skills, and also the main motive will be, of course, discover attack. And we can see that this discover attack can be also combined with double attack. Let's see our examples. This is our first example, and we will start with our usual three-step process. We will start with estimation of the position. First will be quantitative, and we can see that white has queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 1 knight, and 6 pawns. On the other side, black has queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 2 knights, and 6 pawns. So black has additional knight. So from a material point of view, black is much better. Now we will go to qualitative analyze, and we can see that black has a very bad development. His king is still in the middle of the board. This queen and knight are developed, but can be very bad pinned, and on the other side we can see that white has a very safe king on b1 and very active queen on d3, and this bishop and rook are creating some battery which maybe we can use, and we now should try to find some plan how to use our advantage in development, and obviously that should be connected with this our battery, rook plus bishop, and this bad position of black king. And okay, now we will take a few candidate moves, and the first one can be just to continue to develop our pieces with knight f3, but now after queen d5 black is much better, and we cannot return our piece, so knight f3 doesn't work. Second candidate move can be rook e1, and after this move we are trying to recapture our material lost and to take this knight on e4 and to use this pinning. So black has to defend this knight. For instance, the best move is bishop f5, and after this move we should try to attack this knight once more, and it is the best with pawn, of course. And after f3 this knight is going to fall, but after knight d7 we are taking this knight on e4 and bishop e6. Black is only slightly worse from positional point of view, but there is nothing special, so we should try to find some maybe even better move than rook e1. And we can see that we didn't use this bad position of the king. So how to use that minus in black position? And we will start with one very crazy move. that is queen d8. We're forcing black to take on e8, and now we can see that we achieved this battery and it works. So we need to just make some move with this bishop on d2 and to discover this check. And we can also return the queen, but then we will still be one piece down, so that is not good. We will do for bishop g5. This is not just a discovery attack, this is also a double check. And when we give a double check, black must play with king. So he has two options, that is king c7 in king e8, and after king c7 bishop d8 mate, and also after king e8 rook d8 mate. So this was really unbelievable, but it is not so difficult to find this when we used minuses of black position and pluses of white position, and our battery allowed to us to sacrifice a queen and to give a mate to our opponent. We will now go for our second example. This is our second example, and we will start with our 3 steps process, and first will be estimation of the position. We will start with quantitative analyze. We can see that white has queen, rook, 1 bishop, and 2 knights and 5 pawns. On the other side, black has queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, and 5 pawns. So we can conclude that white has knight for rook, and from material point of view, black is better. Now we will go to qualitative analyze, and we can see that white has perfectly safe king on h1, and his queen on f6 is very active, and there is some battery created by this bishop and knight. And okay, this rook on a1 is still not developed. Also this knight on d2 is not doing so much. On the other side, we can see that black king is very weak because of weakness of these dark squares around black king, and this queen is very active. Rooks are still not developed, but they are not weak, and the bishops are very active also. So practically the only minus in black position is this bad position of his king, and the biggest plus in our position is this battery created by this bishop and knight and this active queen. So we should try to use these minuses and pluses of white's position. And how to do that? Obviously we need to force black king to come on some of these squares on h8 on or g7, and to use this discovery attack by moving our knight, or to move immediately our knight and to try to mate black king. First we will look at all candidate moves, and that can be, for instance, first candidate move can be queen h4, to take this bishop, but then after queen d2 we can conclude that black is much better, almost winning. So queen h4 is not good move, but instead of queen h4 we can try to discover this diagonal and to play, for instance, knight f5, but after bishop f6 and knight h6. If black plays king h8, we have bishop f6 mate, but instead of king h8, black will play king g7 and protect this bishop on f6. So our second candidate move is not so good, and we will start with our third candidate move, and that move will be connected with forcing black king to come on this diagonal and to try to use some discover attack, and we will start with queen h8. Black is forced to take on h8, of course, and after queen h8 we can make discover attack by playing knight f5, and if black plays king g8 after knight h6, it's mate. But black is not forced to play with his king. He can play f6 and protect his king from check. So we should try to find a way how to force black to play with his king after we discover this attack. And this is the move, actually, queen g7. We are giving a check and forcing black to take on g7, and after king g7 we can play knight f5 check, and now we are giving double check and black is forced to play with his king, and he can play just on g8, and after this move we can play knight h6 and to give a mate to black king. So our three-step process was leading us to conclusion that black king is very weak, and that is minus of black, and that we have this active queen and this battery which is consisted from bishop and knight, and that is a plus in white position, and we find this candidate move of queen g7 to use these pluses and minuses of white and black position, and we won this game. So we will go for our next example. This is our last example for today, and we will start with our three-step process like always, and first will be quantitative analyze, and we can see that white has queen, rook, two bishops and four pawns, and on the other side black has queen, rook, bishop, knight and four pawns, so material is approximately equal. And now we will start with qualitative analyze, and we can see that white has safe king on h1, very active queen on e4, which is attacking this pawn on h7, and also protecting this bishop and attacking this pawn on e5 together with this bishop. And this rook is creating some battery with this bishop on d5. And on the other side we can see that black king is safe for this moment. Knight is attacking this bishop on d5, and also queen and the rook is attacking this bishop, and this bishop with this queen is protecting this pawn on e5. So if we move this bishop, our rook on d2 is going to fall, but if we don't, then this bishop is going to fall. So pretty difficult decision, but we should use these minuses of black's position and pluses of white's position. So we have this battery, and that is our plus and very active queen. So we need to create some weakness in black camp, and we can do that by discovering this attack and creating another threat. And we will achieve that by playing bishop g8. And now we are treating to give a mate on h7, and at the same time we discovered this attack on this queen on d6, and black has some options. First one is to play king g8 and to not to allow mate on h7, but then after rook d6 and bishop d6, bishop e5, white is completely winning. Second option for the black is to move this queen and to protect mate on h7, and that can achieve by playing queen h6, but in this case this rook on d8 is unprotected and we can take this rook and white is winning again. So that is also very bad. So after bishop g8, last option for black, which is also very bad, is to take this rook on d2, and in this case we are giving a mate on h7. This was a lesson about discovery attack for an easy level. In the next video I will show to you much more complex examples about discovery attack. I want to remind you once more that you can practice discovery attack by analyzing games of strong players and by recognizing every moment where they used discovery attack. For the best of chess, this was FIDE Master Bojan Jovanovic. Thank you for watching this lesson and I hope you enjoy it. See you soon.